Hello friends, this is Carrie and welcome back to I Like Reddit channel. I hope you all are staying safe and healthy. Friends, today we have 4 stories out of the Entitled People subreddit. So let's begin. Our first post is by Judgy Possum. Friend tried to trick me into babysitting. This happened long ago, but even after 25 years, I can't wrap my head around it. My husband and I were graduate students and we, like most of our friends, lived on a low budget. One of our classmates was engaged to a guy with a lot of money. Think hotshot stockbroker in the late 90s. He was clearly training her in the ways of entitlement. They had a little boy together. We didn't see much of them as we couldn't afford much of the restaurants or events that they suggested. My friend, however, acted like we were just avoiding her, no matter how much we reminded her costs were out of reach for us. One Saturday evening, she called and started out with, "We haven't hung out in so long. How about you two come over and we'll get pizza or something?" I said we'd love to come. Then she said, "Great! And after you put my 3-year-old to bed, you can just watch movies or something." I was confused and asked why we would put her son to bed. "Weren't we going to hang out?" She replied, "Oh, fiance and I are going to a party in the neighborhood. We'd invite you along, but the host didn't even know you and it would be awkward. But we should have some time to chat before we leave." I said I didn't want to be her free babysitter. She got annoyed and said it wasn't free because she was paying us in pizza. I said no thanks, and she was so shocked. "What? Now you're not coming? What are we supposed to do now?" Keep in mind that this had only been about 40 seconds since I figured out that she expected us to babysit. I imagine she spent her party complaining about the friends who were supposed to watch her kid but bailed at the last minute. Our next story is posted by YouKnowWho 2016. Entitled group of friends expects everyone else to split the bill for their drinking binge, and then it gets worse. Disclaimer, I did remove a few parts of the story and dialogue because it was just way too long. It still is. What remains still conveys the double entitlement of the situation. Cast: me, myself, EF entitled friend 1, EF2 entitled friend 2, friend, one of several friends who were also there on the trip. A group of us 12 friends decided to go out to dinner while on a golf trip that we took to Scottsdale. When we arrived at the restaurant, they weren't ready for us yet and had us head into the bar. Most of us ordered soda. I ordered green tea, while 4 of them ordered top shelf drinks. I mean a lot of top shelf drinks. Like they were downing them like they were water. After about 20 minutes, our table is ready and we asked for our bills. Most of you know where this is going. The waitress comes back with one bill and hands it to one of the drinkers, who asked for a single bill. Entitled friend 1 looks at the bill for a moment and pulls out his phone, types something in and says, "Okay, everyone's share comes to $48 plus tip." Everyone else that wasn't drinking just looked at him. Yes, 4 of them ran up over $550 in drinks in under 20 minutes, and they expected everyone else to pay as well. Entitled friend 2, "Yeah, come on, just cough it up." Just the way he said it. Me, "Yeah, no. I only ordered a green tea. I am not paying $48 for green tea." Entitled friend 1, "Just pay up." Me, "Forget it. What was my drink? $5? Friend, emboldened by my response, "I only ordered a Sprite. I'm not paying $48 either." This got the others grumbling, and now the tables were turned against the 4, with the other 8 of us refusing to split the tab. Cue the alcohol-induced inhibitions of one of the 4 bringing out his true self. Entitled friend 2 turns to me and says, "Cheapo, you're supposed to be paying for everyone's drinks anyway." Me, "What are you talking about?" Entitled friend 2, "You make more than the rest of us, so you should be paying for everything for everyone every time we go out, including this trip." The phrase "everything for everyone every time we go out" really burned me when he said it. Why in the world would anyone think that someone else should be paying for everything for everyone? I did make a good living, but that was about it. One of our friends did make a lot of money. Everyone knew about it, and he was even there with us. Entitled friend 2, however, had his sights set on me because there was some jealousy that he and his wife had with me back in the day. I'm not going to go into it. Me, "Screw this. Having the cheapest person I know," he was, "calling me cheap is absurd. I'm not paying $48 for a cup of tea." Most of you won't believe this part, which is fine. It's completely unbelievable. But if it didn't happen to me, I wouldn't believe it either. Entitled Friend 2 gets his wife on the phone. Don't get me started on this woman. Puts her on speakerphone and tells her that I won't split everyone's drinks bill, and she proceeds to tell me off. Over speakerphone, to anyone in earshot. Now, I don't remember exactly everything she said because it was ridiculous and I was fuming. I do remember her parroting how I should be paying for everyone. They were obviously talking about this sentiment before. Eventually, I dropped a little gem on her. Me. If I wanted a bunch of people to leech off my wallet, I would have a bunch of kids. This was before I had children, if you're curious. You two are the cheapest people I know, followed by a few examples of how they were cheap and how they took advantage of their friends. Entitled Friend 2's wife, Flibbity Gibbet. I don't remember exactly what she said, but I do remember it was some more drivel and entitlement. I did eventually say, screw you, which was totally called for. Entitled Friend 2's wife, don't swear at me. Me. Screw, pause, you. Now this is the part of the story that most people will not believe, which is fine. Entitled Friend 2's wife, don't cuss at me again or I'm gonna hang up. Just imagine the mentality of someone giving you this threat in this situation and thinking it would carry any weight. Me. What the? Go ahead and hang up. I didn't call you. Oh, and you know what? Screw you. I looked at Entitled Friend 2, threw down a few bucks on the table, and walked towards the waitress. I was done with the whole scene, and so was everyone else. No idea what further conversation went on back there, but most of the other guys came to our table shortly after, except for the drinkers, which I'm sure they were trying to figure out how they were going to pay the bill. The aftermath. Yes, we did sit at different tables for dinner. The drinkers got their own table, and the rest of us sat at another. We didn't talk about what happened much because I think we were all pretty confused by it. 2, we did finish our trip, although the dynamics of our foursome changed, as well as when we got home. The drinkers kind of hung out with themselves. 3, after that trip, we did go on a final trip to Vegas with the whole group. Best part, Entitled Friend 2 got rolled by a pair of women of the night to the tune of $700 for the first night he was there. They cleaned out his wallet, while obviously his wallet was out of his possession, and I'm sure you can figure that one out. He changed his flight and went home that night. 4, neither Entitled Friend 2 nor his wife have spoken with anyone of our group for years. Last I heard, they had cashed out every dollar of his savings and retirement to buy a bigger and better house and furnished with everything she ever wanted. They, within a few years, had to sell the house and move in with his parents. No idea if she found out what really went on in Las Vegas. Yes, I did drink that green tea. If you're enjoying the content so far, please put a heart emoji in the comment section down below. Our next story is by Pink Grapefruit X. Entitled Friend's mom tries to take my phone away, tells me what I can and can't wear in her house, and then hurts my friend in front of me. I, 16 female, have been friends with Beatrice for my whole life. We did school and extracurricular activities together. I've only been to her house after school on Fridays and have never spent the night. Friday is the day that her mother is not home until dinner, so I don't see her very often. But when I do, it's definitely memorable and not in a good way. She's very controlling of Beatrice and doesn't let her have social media out of fear that she will contact boys and become a woman of the night, in her words, not mine. On this Friday, Beatrice asked me if I wanted to spend the night at her house. She hadn't asked me before this for a long time, as her parents didn't allow friends to stay the night, but for some reason they did this time. We spent a few hours in her pool and watching a movie. I'm wearing shorts and a tank top because her house is hot as hell all the time. Her dad likes to keep the temperature indoors at 78 degrees. So her mom comes home around 8 and she sees me on the couch wearing what I'm wearing, and she demands that I change because it's clearly distracting to Beatrice's younger brother, who weren't even in the room. She also said that I dressed very inappropriate for my age. I'm kind of taken aback, as I've never been asked to change due to what I was wearing being inappropriate, which it wasn't. Okay, no big deal, I guess. So I changed into some jeans that I brought with me, and they're pretty light, and so I hoped she'd forget about it. All is well until 10:30, the entitled mother comes downstairs and tells Beatrice that she needs her phone and computer. Beatrice has just learned to agree and hand it over like nothing. I don't think much of it other than it being odd, since my parents hadn't made me do that since I was 14. We just continued to watch the movie. Until the entitled mother taps me on the shoulder and demands my phone and says she's already took my computer out of my bag and I need to give her my password. I'm shocked. This woman went through my bag and took my laptop out, and now she wants me to give her my phone and password so she can snoop through my private information? No. The conversation went like this. Me. Sorry, I'm under no obligation to give you my phone, and you have no right to go through my personal belongings and take my laptop. EM. You're staying in my house with my rules, and you will follow every rule as my children do. Me. I'm not one of your children. You have no right to ask me to do any of that. Your children, sure, but I'm a guest in your house. Beatrice chimed in and her mother went berserk. Beatrice, Mom, she doesn't have to follow our house rules. EM grabs Beatrice's hair and yanks it so hard, causing Beatrice to burst out into tears. EM, shut up, Beatrice. You don't disrespect me ever. I'm very shocked by the abuse that Beatrice has to endure. I refuse to give her my phone and she is fuming. She calls my mom and my mom is angry that she took my laptop without my consent, especially since she bought it. The EM wanted to look through my personal stuff. I decided I was no longer comfortable in the home and leave, but not before I yanked the computer from her. I feel horrible for Beatrice knowing that she has to endure this witch on a daily basis. I have a lot more stories about Beatrice and her parents. Unfortunately, some people shouldn't have children. Our final story is posted by I'm Just Here for Corn. It finally happened. Entitled parents demand my print. Honestly, I've never ran into a Karen or an entitled person before, but I definitely had a run-in today with an entitled young couple. On to the story. So I bought this nice print made by an artist located in Georgia, USA, a couple of months ago, and I've finally gotten it framed properly by Hobby Lobby. I like their service. And since this is my first piece of artwork that wasn't some $10 poster, I wanted to go all out and make it nice. However, half an hour ago, I went to pick it up. It turned out beautifully, but there was another young couple sort of lurking around the pictures and framing area of the store. I could see them looking at me and my new print, which was being bagged by some very nice framer lady. Honestly, Hobby Lobby, your employees are so sweet and helpful. As it was being bagged, they approached, looking at my print and commenting on how nice it is and where I got it, etc. Being an introvert, but always enjoying conversation, I told them my little tale about how I got it and they thanked me. All's well, right? Wrong. So a few minutes later, the framing lady got called elsewhere and left me and my framed print with a half-finished receipt. So I waited and hopped on my phone to answer some emails and texts from work. I work from home sometimes. But as I looked up, there they were. The entitled wife, EF, picked up my print with her entitled husband, EH, standing behind her and marveling at me. Hey, could y'all please put my print down? This was a lot of money to do, and it's my first piece of artwork ever. Entitled wife, oh hush, I'm just looking at it. I'm not hurting it, am I? Me, yeah, you are. You could potentially break the backing, which is just paper, and then I'd have to go and get it fixed, and I don't have all day to be here. Please put down my property. Entitled husband stands between us. Look, kid, we want this painting, and we just got married 6 months ago, and could really use a nice piece of artwork in our bedroom to commemorate our 6-month anniversary. Me, it's not for sale, sir. I don't want to have to go back to Georgia to buy a new one. Go find the artist yourself. I gave you his entitled wife. I don't care. You bought it before, you can buy it again. At this point, she was causing a scene, and her entitled husband was constantly blocking my way to save me from my precious print. And finally, the nice lady, NL, at Hobby Lobby came back. Nice lady, excuse me, that's his. Entitled husband, no, he stole it from us. He's trying to claim it's his. We found it here in the store first, and he just wants it for himself. Entitled wife, yeah, we found it a few aisles down. Me, they're lying. You know I came here 2 weeks ago for the print, ma'am. The nice lady looked at me and nodded with a smirk. Nice lady, so you two claimed that you found it in the store, correct? The couple, almost in unison, yup. Then you would know that we don't sell anything with an artist's signature, but if you really claim it's yours, then what's the name of the artist? Neither of them could give an answer. Then I chimed in and gave her the right one. Sorry, I'm not going to advertise the artist's name out of respect for him. Then the nice lady simply told both of them to leave the store immediately, or she would have them trespassed, and since it's a strip mall area, that means that they would be trespassed from the entire mall area. Sadly, this didn't escalate like most stories, but it was nice to see some very entitled people get their just desserts. Sorry for the long read, but I wanted to convey the situation as accurately as possible. I'll post a link to the print in question this afternoon on this post, so look out for an update. Thanks. That's all the stories I have for today. Links to the original Reddit post will be in the description box below. Please stop on by Reddit to show the OP some love and an upvote. If you enjoy my videos, please comment, like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell notification to let you know when I upload new videos. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.